I've never really noticed the geese flying south before. Or, I guess I've never really noticed it without someone pointing it out to me, or my pointing it out to someone else. Or perhaps most accurately, I have never so profoundly noticed the geese leaving. Maybe because I have never anticipated winter with such trepidation, but that's another video. Anyway, geese, of course, are not always the most pleasant company. What with their charmingly green poop, their ill-tempered and incessant hissing, and their total disregard for the rules of the road. They are an easy animal to hate. Or, at least, an animal around which it is easy to feel distrustful, like a mutiny is brewing. My point being, geese. Not the easiest animals to like. But on the other hand, goslings. No, not that kind of gosling. Yeah, that kind of gosling. This last summer, the geese at the park by the house where I used to live hatched a motherload of goslings, pun intended. It was like a scene from an avian version of 101 Dalmatians. A little river of charcoal gray feather dusters, barely ankle high, tipping to and fro like toddlers as they strutted around. But then came the shock when they began molting. It was one of those moments where you have a sudden, visceral realization that time is passing. But it's strange. That feeling never really lasts, does it? So, yeah. I grew change blind again, watching these teenaged geeslings. They seemed so perfectly, immutably adolescent. Their feathers stuck at an awkward point between down and full-fledged, their too large feet, their comically wide hips, all of the gangly bits of teenagerdom stuck into one compact package. They weren't quite to the point of Satan-like hissing just yet, but they had started to realize that that was the expectation of them, and then one day, they were geese. Small geese, it's true, but geese nonetheless. Of course, I captured none of these changes on camera, which isn't really my point here, but does seem fitting to mention. Anyway, I've been feeling down recently. No, not that kind of down. Down and lonely, yeah. The kind of lonely you know is coming from inside you, not from the people and the world around you. And I think it's somehow related to this feeling I have that I find hard to explain. It's like, I know that I used to have passions that would fill up these lonely spaces inside me, but for a while now, well, I don't know what I enjoy doing anymore, and all those spaces have nothing to fill them. I used to love writing. I loved sinking into the kind of concentration required to describe something not just accurately, but truthfully, like the sound the leaves make in the wind, or the perfect blue of an autumn sky, or that god-awful noise geese make when you get too close to them. I liked watching my words grow on paper, watching as they shed their down until they stood there, black and white and proud on the page. They weren't always great company. Sometimes they would hiss at me, or were aggressive and unruly. But now that I need them to keep me company, my words have left me, and I don't know what I like to do anymore. There is something melancholic and wretchedly beautiful about geese in flight. I hope they return soon.